Hello again all. This cold brew shot was very different from the last, and I'd just like to run you through the process I took in making it. At about 15 seconds, I start filling the Presso with room temperature water, some wiggling of the levers to let the bubbles out, and until about 36 seconds, there's a bit of a pre-infusion phase to help wet the puck evenly and reduce fractures that I saw last time. Throw the glass in and then off we go. At about 1 minute 15, due to the small amount of escaping air through the top of the O-ring and a bit of water bubbling up on top there, I lifted it back up, tried to let the water come back down and let it go back and try pressing again. However, the same thing happened again, and I think it was because of the gentle pressure that I added that it was not closing the O-ring properly, and so I pushed a little bit harder and that did seem to seal it. As you can see from my previous video, the brewing's taking a lot longer. I was pressing more firmly this time and using a much finer grind. The burrs on my grinder touch at notch 4.5, and for this shot I ground at 5 instead of the 6.5 that I used last time. I'm pleased to see an absence of the dripping around the ring of the portafilter, but even at 323 I can see some channeling occurring during the main pour. For this shot I used 20 grams of coffee for about 40 grams of drink. There was more origin flavors and some darker roasty flavors for this one. It was a single origin espresso. It was quite nice as a full shot in the cafe. I'll need to have a play around with the different parameters of the drink because the initial taste was really quite a bit too concentrated for my liking, and so letting the whole shot run longer may have been beneficial. I tasted the remaining water after flushing it through the puck, and it had quite a pleasant sweet flavour, not the bittery wateriness that you can sometimes get from flushing hot water through a puck. So overall, when compared to hot brewing, the Presso was very clean afterwards, with no grounds coming up past the seal/shower screen. And the puck had a nice smooth, even surface with only little divots from the actual water coming through the holes in the shower screen. Unfortunately, my previous efforts at trying to make a metal shower screen to allow a more even wetting of the puck occur weren't successful due to poor sealing between the rubber rings that I found and the body of the Presso itself. I'd be interested in hearing if anyone else has had any similar experiments and if they'd had successes or not. And at this part of the video you can see how there's still not an even flow of water coming through the puck. There are areas which aren't saturating or brewing properly, and that could be related to the distribution or something I'll need to work on in the future. Perhaps it's related to the length of the inverted quotes pre-infusion, and just things to work on there. I didn't see this sort of problem when I was doing hot brewing of espresso, so perhaps this is an area that's different in cold brewing. It's more likely to channel. Or it could be that I'm just not pushing hard enough to get the water flowing through, and so that is letting the small changes in the density of the puck, which otherwise may not affect the relationship of the distribution, it changes it here in a lower brewing environment. I've got a single stream coming up now, and it's really avoiding some areas, as just not getting through with the whole puck, but it was fairly tasty shot. It's not having any nasty bitter flavors or wateriness that you might expect coming through, and I may have to try the Weiss distribution technique, and perhaps that will be what resolves this problem, because we do want to get an even saturation of the puck, and hopefully that'll improve the flavor. Now the shot will finish at about 418, and we'll have a look there, but I really should be getting into the brew ratios in the future, so I have an idea of what's exactly happening. I actually measured an equivalent amount of water visually, and it looked to be about 40 to 50 mils. The shot itself should probably have gone for longer because of the issues that I mentioned before. It was a little bit concentrated on the start, and probably would balance out a little bit with some more fluid. Alrighty, that's it there. Thanks very much for watching.